All right, let's get into it. Drawing from the work of Alexander Chernev, we're going to look at a tool that practically every company has, but so few really get right: the Brand Identity Guide. Now, in theory, it's supposed to be this single source of truth, right? The one document that makes sure your brand's message is always clear, always consistent. But let's be real. Most of the time, it just ends up as some PDF that nobody ever looks at. So we're going to explore how to turn it from a dusty file into a living, strategic asset.
And this is really the question you have to start with. Is your brand actually speaking with one unified voice? Because if it's not, you've got a serious problem. When your marketing team, your sales team, and your external partners are all singing different tunes, you're not just creating a little bit of noise, you're creating massive confusion for your customers. And you're basically torpedoing the very strategy you've worked so hard to build.
So, to get everyone on the same page, we have to begin with the basics. That brings us to our first section, the unifying document. Here, we're just going to nail down exactly what this guide is, what it's supposed to do, and who it's actually for. And that last part is key, because the audience for this thing is way, way bigger than most people think.
Okay, so at its very core, a brand identity guide is precisely this: a formal, written document. This isn't a collection of friendly suggestions. It's a set of hard and fast standards for every single piece of your brand. And the ultimate goal here is dead simple: to guarantee absolute consistency everywhere a customer might interact with you, whether that's a giant billboard on the highway or a tiny signature at the bottom of an email.
And what's really interesting is that while all the big players do this, they all seem to have a different name for it. You see, Walmart calls it a brand guide. Over at Tesla, it's a brand manual. Lululemon even calls it a brand identity system. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you call it. The name changes, but the job it does is exactly the same: to formalize the brand for anyone and everyone who touches it.
And that is such a critical point. This guide is not just some secret rule book for the marketing team. Not at all. It is built for a massive audience, both inside and outside the company. Internally, you've got your product developers, HR, your sales force. They all need it. And externally, it's absolutely non-negotiable for your ad agencies, your PR firms, and especially your franchisees. Basically, if you represent the brand in any capacity, you need to know the rules of the game.
Which leads us perfectly into the big so what? This isn't just about control for control's sake. So for Section 2, we're looking at why consistency is king. We really need to unpack the strategic business reasons why this kind of consistency isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely crucial for success.
And make no mistake, the stakes here are incredibly high. Look at the two sides of this coin. With a consistent brand, you get a clear, unified image. You get powerful legal protection for your trademarks. You build trust. But flip that coin over, and the costs of inconsistency are just severe. You get customer confusion. You actually dilute your intellectual property, making it harder to defend. You waste a ton of resources on rework. And maybe worst of all, you actively weaken your brand equity, which is literally the financial value of your brand's name in the market. It's a stark difference.
Really, it all comes down to one single overarching goal. The entire point of creating and maintaining this guide is to build one consistent brand image in the customer's mind. That's it. And for complex organizations, this is everything. Imagine a global behemoth like Coca-Cola, or a franchise system like McDonald's, or a company like P&G that manages dozens of distinct product lines. Without a central guide, it would be total chaos.
So how do you actually build this thing? Well, a really powerful guide isn't just a list of rules about where to put your logo. It has to start with strategy. So for Section 3, we're diving into the strategic heart. This is where you define the why behind all the tactical rules that come later.
The strategic core of a great guide really gets to the soul of the brand through these 4 elements. You have to start by asking some deep questions. Who are our target customers, really? Beyond making a profit, what is our fundamental brand purpose? How are we positioned against the competition in a way that truly matters? And, if our brand walked into a room, what would its personality be like? Getting these answers right provides the foundation for every single design choice you'll make later on. And this example from Walmart's own guide just makes it all so clear. Look at how direct and actionable this language is. Their purpose isn't some fluffy, jargon-filled mission statement. It's saving people money so they can live better. Period. Their personality isn't a long list of buzzwords. It's just 3 powerful words: simple, smart, and humane. This is the kind of clarity that actually helps people make good decisions day in and day out.
And this quote really hits the nail on the head. This is exactly why that strategic piece is so vital. So many companies skip this part and jump right to the colors and fonts, and that's a huge mistake. When you include the why, you empower everyone to become a better brand ambassador. You shift their thinking from "I have to follow this rule" to "I understand the meaning we're trying to create." And that's how you get real, authentic execution.
Okay, so once that strategic foundation is rock solid, then we can talk about the tools that bring it to life. This is section 4, the tactical toolkit. This is all about execution. It's the specific design elements that make the brand strategy something you can actually see, hear, and feel.
So the tactical section of any good brand guide is really built around these 4 pillars. You've got your verbal identifiers, the words, then your visual identifiers, the look. After that, your audio identifiers, the sounds, and finally, you have brand imagery, the pictures that create those critical mental shortcuts. Let's break each one down.
So, pillar 1, the verbal stuff. This goes so much deeper than just your name and what font to use. It gets into critical legal territory. For instance, think about brands like Kleenex or Google. Their guides are adamant that you never use their name as a generic verb or noun. You don't Google something. Their guide would say you search on Google. This is all about preventing what's called genericide, where your trademark becomes so common that you actually lose the legal rights to it. It's a huge deal.
Next up, the visual pillar. This is what most people picture when they think of a brand guide. And this is where things get super specific. We're talking about the exact logo and all its approved versions, the core color palette with the precise RGB and hex codes, and really strict rules about things like minimum size and, importantly, the required clear space around the logo. That ensures it never gets cluttered and always pops.
Pillar 3, audio, is so often forgotten, but it's incredibly powerful. Just think about the Intel Bong or the Netflix Ta-Dum. I mean, those little sounds are assets worth millions. The brand guide is where you define these trademarked sounds, their exact length, their volume, where they get placed in an ad, all to make sure they are instantly recognizable as the sound of your brand and no one else's.
And that brings us to the final pillar, brand imagery. This isn't just about picking pretty pictures. This is about curating an entire visual library of approved photography and illustration. The guide dictates the specific style, the mood, the subject matter. For instance, a luxury car brand might mandate dark, movie cityscapes at night, while a family minivan brand would require bright, sunny outdoor scenes with smiling families. It's all about making sure every single image reinforces the core brand idea. Okay, so we've got the strategy, and we've got the 4 tactical pillars. Now for our final section, number 5, putting it all together. This is the practical application. How do all these individual rules and elements actually combine to create a coherent brand out in the wild?
This is really where the rubber meets the road. A great guide provides super precise templates and instructions for absolutely everything. Business cards, email signatures, the official company PowerPoint deck, even employee uniforms or the layout of a trade show booth. Every little detail, where the logo goes, what font to use, which colors are allowed, is spelled out to guarantee a professional, consistent image in every single interaction, no matter how small it seems.
So as we wrap up, we want to leave you with one final question to think about for your own company. Is your brand guide a rule book or is it a playbook? Is it just this restrictive document full of don'ts that tells people what they can't do? Or is it an empowering playbook built on that clear strategy we talked about that actually gives your teams the tools and the inspiration they need to go out and bring your brand to life in creative, effective ways? The difference between those two is everything.